episode 5 of Quaranteens and Quarantime. Man, 5 episodes already, man.
I know, dude. I know.
Yeah. It's kind of surprising. I think it was a few months ago, you, me, and our previous partner, Joel, we were just discussing, man, wouldn't it be really cool if we just record our conversation to a podcast? And look at us now, like 3 months later.
Yeah.
It's fun. So, hey guys. So, of course, my name is Jason. I'm always joined by my friend Nathan. As always, say hello, Madi.
What's up?
Yeah, and thanks for joining us. So, like with every podcast, we always talk about what anything that has happened recently over the past couple of days of quarantine. So, Nathan, anything notable that you experienced over the past few days?
Oh yeah. So since that I'm going to school this week, it's kind of sad I wouldn't be featured in this podcast since I'm busy and stuff. But in a good note, if I have the time, we can actually make a shorter podcast for you guys to listen. And the podcast, they're probably gonna be delayed and shortened a bit. And so now for my progress check, I don't really have anything that interesting that really happened this week on my side. So I mostly, still exercise, play sports, if I have the time. Nothing usual, but what about you, Jason?
Well, for me, not too much. Same thing as you. I've also been working out a lot. I lost a normal amount of weight over the past few weeks. I'm proud of it though. Plus, I've been lifting weights. Like my arms feel way stronger than before.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel loosened, like that feeling?
Bro, it does. Yeah.
I know.
It's just, yeah. I think so my arm can go in a full 360 rotation. It's just feels good. So, Nathan, carrying on your point. So you're actually going back to school August 12th, which is this Wednesday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Is it this Wednesday?
Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah, I think a majority of our viewers usually think that, man, going back to school in the first 2 weeks of August, that's kind of strange. But that's how your district does it, I believe so, right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty early, to be honest.
It's pretty early.
And for you, I think you're going September, right?
Yeah, I'm going back to school in around September 7th. But yeah, I do remember since you and I were in the same middle school a few years back, we started pretty early. I think it was around August 9th, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, and then I think we got out around May. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of good though because you get out pretty early.
Yeah, you do get out pretty early, but you do miss August, so kind of.
Yeah.
But I do see the advantages of starting school a month early and ending a month early too. There's some pros and cons to it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so with school, for example, you're going back to school soon. With school coming back and all, school is you and I can both agree that school isn't going to be looking the same this year, right?
It's because it's school online.
With COVID and everything, and so because of that, states and many districts across the country, they're cheering or they're teetering between two decisions, whether to have a sort of hybrid in-person or online class, or just fully remote learning, or just straight up entirely online. And I think your school is doing entirely online too, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that, for example, in Florida, they're actually doing in-person classes right now. And then in New York,
really?
Yeah. And then in New York, Andrew Cuomo, he passed something that New York is able to have in-person classes for this year, and because of that, and everything with schools coming back, it does raise some concerns because of COVID and everything. Because with whole virus spreading, it would seem that school can be seen as more of an unsafe or not the safest area that you hold. But But because of that, there's been like a whole debate, like whether should we have in-person classes or all digital. And what else?
The thing about those two states you're talking about, they seem to it seems to be a really populated state, and it's kind of ironic at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because
just to see that the it's still open. I'm just confused at that.
Yeah, it wasn't not too long that Florida had like the state with like the most cases for a bit, and then now
they would still open the schools. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, but that's something we don't have too much info about. But because for example, my district also, or my school, we're all also doing fully entirely online for school, and because of that, then what do you think your opinions on remote learning in general? Like, what do you think about it? Do you think it's good or not?
It's actually really good because it's more safe, and it seems that school might get hard, but at the same time, would you want to get the COVID or would you not? That's the question.
That's true. It's like, because if you're that into like going to school, you're putting yourself at more risk at getting exposed to it. But then if you're doing it online, there's like nothing to worry about because you're at home and you're limiting your contact with the majority of people at your school. But I think we can also agree that there are a lot of downsides that come to learning in general.
Correct.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that is one of the biggest downsides for remote learning is that, is that we won't have in-person assistance or teaching from teachers. And to ask for me personally, I feel like I've been learning less over the past few months learning online than actually having like a teacher like teach me stuff like up front.
I actually have the same problem as well. That's pretty surprising. But the thing is that, does your teacher schedule online meetings, like private meetings or anything?
Not like private meetings. For in my case, if you can have a like one-on-one meeting if you specifically call for it, but the majority of my class we just do like a whole class group call. For example, like do sites like Zoom or Google Meets. That's like the main method of how teachers try to get have contact with their students even though they're not actually there, right? Yeah. But furthermore, school doing remote learning online, it doesn't really motivate you as much. I mean, of course, there are some people that really aren't motivated to do anything related to school at all. But the fact that you have to put so much effort, for example, not only do you have to have a working computer and a stable Wi-Fi, and then the ability to have access to all these programs and stuff, with that, because remote learning, I think it's way more complicated than actually going into a classroom, sitting down, just having the teacher do a lecture. It discourages some people because of how complicated it can be, especially with Google Meets and everything.
Yeah. But in the bright side, though, there is actually some people that actually have fun doing online. But for me and you, there is a downside. Yeah.
I think for me, the case is that why I'm not a big fan of remote learning is because I'm so used to having a whole discussion with my teachers on how to solve a specific problem. I think my learning method is visual. I have to be there in order to actually understand it. It's tough. It was tough for the past few months when my school switched to online learning before summer started, and I don't know if it's gonna change for this year, but I hope that they do improve on some areas. We don't actually reorganizing the UI program, because for me, you have to go through 5 different five different programs just to do every single class. That like math can take you like a whole different website, music can take you a whole different website, and English have to go everywhere. If they're able to put all the class to one specific program, I think that's going to like relieve the stress for a lot of people. So that's what I think you should do.
Yeah. So when you were talking about the online school and stuff, my school was. Do you know what hybrid is?
Hybrid, yeah, I did. It's like
hybrid.
It's like like some days you go to school and then some days you stay back from home and then you learn online. Yeah.
Yeah. So my school was actually thinking of doing hybrid, but since the COVID-19 cases went up, my school decided to do a second vote and fully online one. So and the thing was that since some people didn't have computers or like not good Wi-Fi and all, they actually gave out free computers, like free laptops and hotspot as well. Actually came with.
Really?
And I'm actually surprised because they were actually doing this project, and it was called the 1 Million Project. And I actually have a free laptop right now, so and pretty good internet because
that's cool.
It came with a free hotspot.
It's like they're giving you.
Come to think of it, though, it's a good way to make Chromebooks useful since since school is fully online. Laptops, they don't really have that much use if it's fully online. So rather just give it away.
That's cool. It's like they're giving you the resources to continue learning at home. Like that's cool that they're providing everything. For my school or for my district specifically, we were actually given our own specific Chromebooks at the beginning of middle school. So I still have the Chromebook right now, and it's been a program that they've only been running for like at least 2 years, and it's probably the second year that they're doing it. And so they gave us Chromes again with everything. But even though that they do still provide us with Chromebooks and the hotspots like for Wi-Fi continued learning, compared to like in person, a lot less. There are less amount of students actually doing online than compared to in person. Like I think we can both agree. Yeah.
I feel like some students are just gonna escape online. They're not even just gonna do it. They're just feel lazy.
There's not a lot of motivation. I really some part of me doesn't blame, but another part of me is saying that if even we're in a case where everyone in the U.S. is on lockdown, and we're not going to we don't have the resources to continue like in-person education, so might as well just take advantage of the resources we have now and just continue going on with it. Like that's the best thing you can do. Yeah, but we can't really.
This quarantine's actually giving us advantage for school as well. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Have you heard of COVID slide? COVID slide?
COVID. No.
Okay, so COVID slide is something similar called summer slide. So what summer slide is basically when you finish school and then the year's over, and then you don't touch any of your you're not. So you know how summer's like you're not studying, right? Like that studying is your main priority. You're not doing it every day. So because of that, over those 2 months you forget that stuff. And then when you come back at the beginning of the year for next year, you forget the majority of that. And you know how I think it was around March or early April where we had we had school that was canceled for the rest of the months. Think of that. Not only do you have the 2 months of summer, but you're also having like a plus 5 months not being in school along with summer. That's like a 7 months of not quote unquote legit learning, and that's what they call COVID slide. And what a lot of school representatives are kind of worried about is that if students aren't learning every single day, 5 days a week for the past like 7 months. What's gonna be our what is gonna be our like level when we come back to school next year? Like when we actually come back to school in person. And that's what COVID slide is, that you're not learning in depth, and you're technically essentially like forgetting stuff, and then you come back, and then the effects could probably be worse than what summer slide can usually do. And that I was thinking too. I think because of that, I'm trying to motivate myself to study for the past months, like to regain. To try to regain all the knowledge that I may have lost, and just be more prepared for this year, because I don't know how this is gonna work.
Yeah, because since you're going back to school, you're just gonna forget everything you learned and stuff.
Kind of.
And so COVID slide is just like a term. It's like a term.
Mm-hmm. It's somewhat of a term, like to describe how like students aren't learning and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to know.
So we're just discussing about how we think school is going to be. So, but although we're like talking about like remote learning, then what do you think school should do if our schools weren't doing remote online? What do you think your school should probably do besides online learning, like a alternative to it? Do you have any ideas? It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult to know, because I don't know. My school is going all over the place. They're not really planned like this is gonna happen. So I really actually have no idea. I don't know, man. It's really difficult to know.
Yeah, it's hard to like organize and plan on like a whole school system if we're dealing with a virus we don't even know what it actually does fully. Yeah, so I can see what school districts are worrying about. But like for me personally, if I'm trying to prioritize like in-person classes, the hybrid system, I think we already talked about. It's like we have multiple people coming in, and like half the school can go in, half the school is at home, and then you alternate. I think that's a good way. But that doesn't mean it's going to prevent all cases of COVID. So I do see the risk going with that too. Like for personally, I really want to get in-person classes soon, because it's hard to focus.
Like hybrid, right?
Yeah, hybrid.
I really wanted hybrid as well, but since the COVID-19 cases just came up, my school just decided to do fully online.
Yeah, COVID, you suck.
I think that's for every single school as well.
Yeah. Well,
but all in all, though, I think school is just gonna be straight up boring, just like the quarantine I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And knowing it's not gonna be only me, it's gonna be the entire majority of people in the schools.
I don't find school as interesting or how I can say. No, somewhat interesting compared to in person.
Yeah, because there's more. You could talk to your friends and stuff. Well, for this, you're just watching a person lecturing. That's it. That's just it.
Well, hopefully over the next couple of months, that actually does happen.
Yeah,
I really hope. Yeah. That was a good discussion.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think now we got that finished and everything. I think we should probably focus on the bulk of our podcast. So, I don't think our listeners really know. You and I, we're both Asian. we're pretty Asian. Like,
I think they already know that.
Well, yeah, probably.
Probably, man.
Yeah. So, me and Nathan, we're both Vietnamese Asian Americans living here for our whole lives, and because our families have originated from Vietnam or Eastern Asia, we can both agree that our cultures have transferred from our origin country to the Americas, and with that also applies to like how we live today, and I think we should probably we can talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, man, if I ask, what things does your family do that, like as in an Asian culture aspect? What did your family do that probably other families wouldn't do for like other culture families or groups? Is there anything specific?
Well, for in fact, I know that we can't wear shoes in the house, and I know that we're supposed to always open the doors. We can't let any doors like be closed.
I see.
And speak Vietnamese pretty much.
Yeah, I think life. Also, what else is that? For me, there's like a big rule. They have to be respectful to elders. Is that?
Oh yes.
You have to use like a specific Vietnamese term, and for in the Vietnamese language, we have to have specific words we have to use for each person. For example, like Mrs. Man, like go, and then do, and then there's and back there's separate.
And one more thing. Since you're talking about elders and stuff, you're supposed to actually bow to them.
Yeah, you have to bow.
You have to put across your hand and then just bow.
Yeah,
that's a more respectful way.
It's like a sign of respect to show that to people that have more experience than you. Like, show they like you recognize how much they've gone through. And like the bow thing is really important too. Like, every time I go to the temple, like a Sunday, that's like the main thing I'm doing like 80% of the time when I'm there. Like, every time I meet a person, it's like bringing to. It's like putting our culture from Vietnam to the Americas that probably wouldn't be as common, but it's like we're like preserving the culture, you know. Yeah. And then I think that also goes to the same for holidays too. I think you and I
holidays. Yes. Yeah, we already know what holidays.
The big one is Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year. There's multiple ways to call that, right? Yeah.
Especially that is
we
like
call it
the
that
most
in Vietnamese. I think this is run from. It's around February, right? It's
like, somewhere February.
It's the year, unlike the usual American New Year, which is on December 31st and January 1st. For us, our holiday goes like 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. It goes for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff that we do.
And if you guys don't know what that is, it's a different way to celebrate Chinese New Year, but it's basically you just give out red cards that actually have money inside of them, and they use this quote unquote lucky money, and so that's pretty much it. They actually do dragon dances as well. I've seen those.
Dragon dances are big.
You have to
They're
wear
pretty big.
Those gowns.
Like the for us, the gowns that we usually wear, they're called ao yai. Me and Nathan really talked about this earlier. we were just talking about Vietnamese. It's kind of like a traditional dress or
I'll put the image. I'll put the image up.
Yeah, so they're like super big in culture. Like if you actually go to Vietnam, like go to the countryside, like nearly everyone wears those. A lot.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, it's side culture. They're usually very thin, but pretty silky, pretty comfortable. I think. What else? We also for us for that is like for the lunar calendar. Like we have the zodiac animals, right? It's like we got pig, we got a horse, and we got. And there's an anime about it too, called Fruits Basketball. I really recommend you guys watch it.
At this time, come on, man.
Just kidding. That's a good anime, by the way. Like the difference.
It's a good anime though.
It's a good anime.
It's a good anime.
Yeah, for us like
back
that.
Back on track.
Yeah, for that, like every year, or for that is like a different animal. For example, one year could be the dog, and the next year could be the cat, and the next year could be the rooster. I'm a rooster, by the way.
Isn't this year the mice episode?
I think so. I think that's probably my mom. My mom was born here. We have like an ongoing joke in our family is that our zodiac animal represents who we are. Like for me, I'm the rooster because I wake up too early. My brother was born My brother was born the year the pig because he's super lazy.
My gosh.
My grandmother, she was born like the cat because she sleeps a lot too, and my mom was like the mice because she's really freaking smart. It's just like an ongoing joke. And
that's cool.
It's pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then not only for our culture we have like specific holidays and everything, we also have really iconic food.
Ooh, yes, the food.
Really good food. I think
really
we all know
food.
like the biggest one is definitely pho.
Yes, of course. 100%. That's the most classic.
Yeah.
Vietnamese cuisine dish.
To be honest, I think pho is probably the first thing that comes to your mind when you usually think of Vietnamese or Vietnamese cuisine in general. Like that's the most popular. That's probably the most popular.
Yeah, it's the most.
Yeah.
I think almost everyone eats. It's really good.
Yeah. Like that's big in our culture. Like pho probably could we eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It literally does not matter.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
There's also bún bò Huế. Do you know what that is?
Bún bò. It's like bún bò. What is kind of like a more beef bone type of noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb, by the way, my favorite food.
Bomb, dude. It's one of my favorite foods.
Yeah. For like, and also for pho, there's like different types of for pho. Yeah, it's like pho. Yeah, pho is chicken pho, and pho bò is like beef and stuff. There's a lot, but
yeah,
there are some dishes that aren't the most as popular. For example, like some notable like jaya or egg rolls.
Oh yeah.
Vietnamese. And I forgot the word. Do you remember the word for spring rolls? I forgot.
Yeah, same, man.
Yeah,
but it's somewhat a spring roll.
It's pretty popular, and also, a type of dish I don't hear too much about is bun sale. You know what bun sale is, right?
Oh, bun sale. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really like that much.
Oh, really? You don't like it? So basically,
yeah, I don't really like it that much.
Oh, really? So, for people listening who don't know, bun sale basically is a type of Vietnamese pancake. It's like a savory one. It's made with a mixture of egg and starch or whatever. And so you put all these meat toppings in it, and then you have to fold it, and then you put it down. You have to take a whole plate of lettuce, and then you have to put the bun sale. Like take your hands, put it into the freaking piece of lettuce, and you have to dip it into some fish sauce, which is nước mắm in Vietnamese, and you eat it. So you're telling me you don't like bun sale?
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan. It's good, but like I'm not a really big fan of it.
I see.
Sorry, man.
I mean, it's not the same. We all have different tastes. Like for me, bro, I eat those a lot. I eat a lot of those every time my family makes it. Try a big one.
Oh yeah, and another really bizarre food is dried squid.
Oh, it's like a snack for us.
It's it's somewhat a snack. I know that not that much people like squid,
Yeah.
So it's like pretty bizarre.
It's like dried shredded squid, right?
Yeah, just dried shreds.
Yeah, I think it's like for the dipping sauce you have like hoisin sauce, which is Tung Phan and sriracha. You had to mix it together. Yeah, bro, it's good.
Or maybe sometimes sriracha.
Yeah. Like you take hoisin sauce and you take sriracha, Tung Phan, and then you mix it. It's pretty good. I recommend it.
My dad and mom always do that.
Yeah.
Same with pho as well.
So that's some of the culture. It's like a small part of the culture that us Asian dudes have, but that doesn't only happen to just Asian races or like Vietnamese, Chinese, or whatever. But like with every race, there usually comes with stereotypes. I think we don't know
every ethnic. I think so.
Yeah,
every ethnic.
So what are stereotypes? So basically, stereotypes think of it as I'm trying to describe it. Stereotypes are a type of shell that you think of people. Like for example, if you think a stereotype, basically it's a shell that you put people into because you think that person specifically does this and that. And with stereotypes, there's a lot of what we call like Asian stereotypes. Basically, things that people think that are true about Asians in general, but in some cases that it's kind of inaccurate. If you know.
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah. Stereotypes are actually they're supposed to be for jokes as well, but people who easily get offended with jokes, it's it counts as being racist,
Yeah.
But
it's like
for you guys, I don't recommend using stereotypes to just clarify someone.
Yeah, is that
even though they're jokes?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not funny.
Instead of like assuming one person or a specific type of person is like good or bad at some things, you should put that aside and actually learn to get to know who they actually are, like what they actually do, like because stereotypes, they're like kind of like a last ditch effort. Like you don't want to find out, you just assume in that spot.
Yeah, you assume. It's kind of like an insult as well at the same time.
Kinda, in some ways. Just come to think of it. Because there's like a certain line of a joke you can go like for example, like you said a joke that could probably be small jokes that your friends laugh about, but there's a line that you could cross that they're literally just racist comments.
Yes,
cool.
basically.
So what me and Nana are trying to do, we're gonna address those stereotypes, like what we think about the different stereotypes, the different type of common stereotypes for Asians in general. So I think the first song we got, the first one I have now, let me see, is that number 1, all Asians are good at math. That's the first stereotype.
That's a really common one, dude. That's a very common one.
I mean, I can see how people can think that all Asians are good at math because great grades and everything, but I'm not sure. I don't really. I mean, arithmetic is pretty big in Asia.
Yeah, it's not just only that, but there's some Asians that they're not really that good at math,
Yeah, but they're probably really good at English.
Yeah, it's just the switch,
Yeah, but like for all of them are good. I can see why people would think that, for example, just scores on a test. But to be honest, that's not only is it wrong, we're not really accurate for Asian in general. Like everyone is not everyone is good at one specific thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're just assuming that they're good.
Yeah, for like me personally, I love doing English. Like English is pretty good. For English fun. Is fun. Like math, it's not. I wouldn't say that's my not a worst subject for me. It's like I can do it, but I wouldn't call it like my top subject.
Yeah. You wouldn't be that competitive.
Yeah, it's like like my passion for English like 20 times higher than my passion for math. So that's what I think. And what about you, Dan? Like, what do you think about this? Like for like you personally.
Okay, well, it's just assuming that they're just good, but at the same time, no one is like that good at math,
Yeah.
I'm Asian, but I'm good at math, but I rather like English or a more fun topic.
Yeah, more
just,
fun.
than just boring math,
Yep, definitely. It's like everyone can choose any subject,
any subject,
any subject. But I think that also carries on to the second stereotype, is that all Asians are really smart. This is 100% not true.
It's just like the other one. All Asians are good at math, just like the other one.
Yeah, and of course. It can be like disregarded in some ways, like where some Asians that I know a lot of Asians are pretty smart, but it's not right. To be honest, in my case, it isn't right to assume that a person is smart at something. Because for me, I take that stereotype as more pressure. It's like for or how can I say it? Is that because people assume that I'm smart because I'm Asian, it's like it's type of expectation that I have to go through. So I'm pressured to get good grades just because people are having this type of expectation on me. Just because it's a really common stereotype that Asians are smart, and it's stressful. Like I
know.
Yeah,
because
study
it's like they're complimenting you, but then you have to live through their expectations.
Yeah, it's like they're expecting that for you, and then
I know.
And then when you don't, specifically, for example, if you don't score as high on a test, they're gonna like they do, or in not of course not everything, but they do recognize that, maybe this dude isn't a smart as they thought. And although that it's good not to think that that all Asians are good, but it's good or smart thing, but it's kind of disheartening knowing that you kind of failed in some way. Yeah.
It's kind of like Asian parents, but then in school.
In school, pretty much.
In school.
It's tough. Like, for me personally, I've been going through that a lot because I'm trying to satisfy that expectation people have of me, and it's stressful. But so that's why I'm trying to take a break. Like I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to put that expectation in my head. I want to put it to the side. That's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do is try and get a good education so I can support me and my family, not just to fulfill the expectations.
Yeah, it's not just only competitiveness.
Exactly.
It's just to live through your family or just live through everything.
Yeah,
without competitiveness.
Exactly. We all have reasons why we're studying school, and for me, I don't want to put that expectation as a reason why I'm doing school. I want to put that to something else, something way more important.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I think. You have anything to comment on that? Yeah?
I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, number 3. All Asians look the same. I don't get this one. This one doesn't make a common one sense. As well.
Okay,
I don't get it.
That's funny. That's funny.
Like, I mean, we would put a picture of us side by side, but for privacy reasons that we're not. But I don't get it. Where do people?
Okay, the thing is that they say that it's just because of our eyes,
I mean, I guess
it's just like another stereotype where like all Asians, they have small eyes and then they can't see.
I don't get it.
Because we have small.
It's like to me, I'm just wondering, how did this thing even come about? How does stereotype even exist?
I don't even know. I just don't know, dude.
I just put a dude, put 2 Asian dudes next to each other. They don't look the same. What are you talking about? Like, if you're trying, okay, if you're listening right now, thinking, man, all you do look the same. What are you talking? You're not looking close enough. Fix your eyes. I don't. I
feel like it's just an insult, just
an insult. It literally just is. Yeah. I don't understand how this can be true in any way. It's one of those like more offense type of.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Complain at someone. Yeah. Just move on.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. All Asians, they eat dogs and cats for food. Okay, now this one.
Oh, now this is just a meme. This is just turning into a meme.
This is just a meme. But to be honest, it's like this is true. Some parts of Asia, they do eat dogs and cats for food. But it's also important to realize that culture here in America isn't the same on the other side of the world. Like like for us, for here in America, like, of course, eating your own pets, like, bruh, that's messed up.
I know, you can't do that. But in other countries, you could do that.
Yeah, you have to realize that this may not be the same in separate countries in Asia. Okay, me and I just gonna put it out there. We should not eat dogs and cats. Screw that.
I do as a joke, though.
Yeah, it's funny as a joke. Like, yeah, I take
funny.
This more as a joke than actual literally thing to talk about.
Yeah. I don't really think this is really an insult, but it's just that it's really funny.
Yeah,
because people.
But
really
I do see why people and do talk about, but it's just kind of rude in some places.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for me, I own lots of pets, dogs especially, and I love all of them. And I'm just thinking, you're trying to assume that I eat these guys? No, I love them. It's like, bro, that's messed up. But people, I do have some cases, like people, literally when I'm just eating at lunch in the cafeteria, like random groups of people just pass by. It's like, yo, you're just eating dog there, and I just really don't give a crap. Yeah, it's like.
Yes.
It's something I had to go through.
Same here, man.
Yeah. It's kind of dumb.
It's irritating.
It's that's trying to find. It's pretty irritating sometimes. It's annoying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying. But it's some type of joke. Okay, moving on. We suck at driving.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say for sure since I'm not driving yet, but this is a common stereotype where I do see like people, like Asian adults, that we do suck at driving just because we think our eyes are small.
Yeah.
It's like my eyes are fine.
True. It's not true.
It's not true. It's that
it's just our eyelids, man. That's it.
Is that you're good at driving depending on how much you practice. Your driving skill.
It's not just identity, you know.
Your driving skill isn't. It's like assume. You can't assume some person's driving skill just depending on what the race is.
How they look.
Yeah, it's like the amount of time you put into it, not what you look like. So that I can't say too much about that because I can't drive.
Yeah, it's pretty much straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. All right, what's another one? We suck. Number 6. We suck at all sports besides martial arts. Bruh.
Okay, now that's just a meme again. That's another.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you do see a lot of Asian movies, like just Asian dudes, like it sounds like just doing insane martial arts in the movies. I can see that. I can see why people think that. Yeah. But it's just. We can be good at other sports. Like I play tennis as a competitive sport. Like that's my sport. And I mean, I have done martial arts in the past, which is something I'm not interested in. I took 6 weeks taekwondo. It was not interesting. It's like compared to tennis, it wasn't something I couldn't get into, and I do not call myself good at it. I suck. But like for me, I play tennis a lot, and I've also played in a lot of other sports, in table tennis and badminton and soccer, whatever like that. And then you're also good at sports like any other sports that you're good at?
Yeah, like maybe basketball or badminton. Those are like the 2 sports I'm really into.
Yeah.
But it's not just only sports; it's actually instruments as well. You played the flute, right?
Yeah,
I
do
actually play
the
the piano. And I'm really into the piano just because it's fun. It's fun, and I practice a lot.
Yeah.
It's not, you really can't assume someone by how they look.
Exactly.
Or, martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a meme, dude. I think it's a meme.
It's a meme.
It's a meme, dude. I don't feel like it's a stereotype at all. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
It's pretty funny. But in the end, I think this just comes to show that it doesn't matter what race, ethnic group, skin color, where you are, that you're good at the things that you want to be good at. You're not classified of a certain group. Like you can't be like put into a stereotype where you're good at something sort of there. You do you. you want to be good at driving, you be good at driving. You want to do it. Yeah. Sorry.
And to be honest with you, if you use stereotype as a joke though, I could take jokes perfectly fine. Yeah. But I know that some people don't even take jokes. That they take it seriously, and that's why I don't really support Asian stereotypes. What about you? Do you support?
I think
Asian
for me, it's fun. Like for example, you have a group of friends.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, it's
just
funny.
Straight up funny.
You could
But
make.
then
You
people
make
who just
fun
take
of
it
each
seriously,
yeah.
don't, I don't really.
Because
I don't really support that.
It's like it's okay. Just like make a just off the top joke, just joking around with your friends.
Yeah,
like,
it's just joking around.
Man, he's good at everything. He's good at math, but not only is that the case, you shouldn't use stereotypes as a way to classify people. Like you should immediately think that one person is 100% immediately good at this thing but sucks at the other. You can't do that. You got like that.
You need another person first. That's
Exactly.
just the main story.
Is that you actually have to know the person, like get to know like their taste and everything, and then that's what you can classify them because
that's when you do it.
Yeah, so it's just addressing stereotypes. It's something that we kind of still need to work on, like in the Asian community in general. Is that stereotypes are being thrown out, but it comes to show that we can do better.
I don't really in person. I don't really use stereotypes as a way to describe someone. I'd rather just know who they are and then do what you're gonna do.
I just don't understand like the why stereotypes are a thing in some cases.
It's just for memes, man. It's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much for memes. Like that's the only region where I'm putting it. I would never think of stereotypes as a way to classify people. Like that's.
And I would never use one. I would never use them. Only if I want to joke with my friends who, they can actually take a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
All of that, I don't.
Yeah. So that's basically just addressing Asian stereotypes. But
yes,
I think that's enough of that for now. So we've all been on the internet recently, so it's time to discuss like what dumb stuff we found on the internet. So okay, I'm gonna start with you first. Anything dumb?
Okay, all right.
Found online?
Okay, I have the most dumbest thing in the world right here.
Oh no.
So I actually have two. First time forever. The first one is an article that I found, and it said, "Pizza shop owner feds off robber in a prison." So,
what?
Let me give Let me give it more information. So, it doesn't give the time or anything, but it happened in Delaware. So, yeah. So a pizza shop owner was minding his own business, right? And this man just came in with like a freaking machete. Walks in, he's like, and tells the man to give him money.
With a machete?
Yeah, with a machete. Just a random guy with a machete just walks in and tells him to give him money. And so the shop owner informed the crazy person he didn't have any money. So then he threw the pizza at him. He just literally threw a pizza at him. And then, surprisingly, the robber was like, oh shoot, pizza just went through my face. I gotta go. So he just fled in his car. This dude literally has a machete. And,
oh my god.
And the pizza shop owner just threw pizza at him. And for some reason, he just fled. Like, is he scared that his shirt is stained or his face is just full of sauce on it?
He was wearing a white t-shirt. He knew he was going to get ruined, man.
Yeah, he knew he had to go to...
Bro, he was wearing like the freaking Yeezys. He was scared of the pizza sauce.
No, he was wearing a Supreme t-shirt, bro. He doesn't want like any stains on there.
That's funny. Who knew
That's funny.
that the best way to get a robber off to leave and prevent them from robbing you should just throw freaking pizza? That's funny.
Dude, the pizza was probably just made out of rocks or something. Like that's why it was so painful.
Bro, the machete had no chance against that, my dude.
I know, right?
Oh, that's
pretty funny. Okay.
All right.
Now for my next dumb stuff on the internet. It's another article I found. Okay, so this is involving with Disney and Mickey Mouse and stuff. And it basically states that 150 people in Rhode Island got tax refund checks signed by Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney.
What the? Wait, actually?
Literally. Okay. Let me give more information. So, it was a misprint signature glitch for their printing system. Yeah, it was a misprint. And okay, so the checks, they were just, dummy checks, and that's why they were only used for testing. So Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney's signatures, they were only used for dummy checks. And for some reason, the real checks got mixed up in like the bin or something. With the misprinted checks. So instead of getting their own state officials' signatures, they actually got Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney's.
Oh, that's funny.
Really surprising. It's pretty funny as well because they're they're getting tax refunds just from Disneyland.
Disney's up there in the government. Bro, I would totally take a tax return signed by freaking Mickey Mouse himself then to my governor. That's funny, man.
Yeah, that's funny. And you know what? I'll keep a signature. I'll just keep the tax. Screw it. Screw the
Remember, Mickey watching over. You better pay your taxes.
Yes, sir. Or else Mickey Mouse is gonna kill you.
Oh, that's
anyways.
That's funny. All right, so I think it's my turn now. Okay.
Yep.
So I found this this one recently. It was technically on IGN, but it was the story made by NASA. So what happened? It was a study around, I think it was around 2015, 2016. What NASA found, scientists found that in Antarctica, there have been particles that have been from inside Antarctica. Mm-hmm. They're going outwards, like towards the sky, and for some reason in space, particles are supposed to go like in a downward motion, like they're going downwards, like towards a certain area, like toward Earth. But for some reason, the particles the scientists found in Antarctica, for some reason they were going in the opposite direction. Instead of going like downward, they're actually going up. And because of that, there has been a theory made because of that, is that there may be evidence of a parallel universe living alongside.
Wait, what universe?
I know, right? Yeah, a parallel.
Oh my gosh, bro! Stranger Things. Confirmed.
I know, right? Parallel universe, like not
the upside down world.
Yeah. So, what science? He commented that this parallel may be a world where not only is left is right and right is left in that world, time goes backwards.
Ooh, this
and I
think, this is getting really interesting now.
Bro, that is cool.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, and then a lot of people have been discussing, like, man, well, what would the world look like? Actually look like? And for me, I was just thinking, if it's going backwards, like the world's going back, does that mean they talk backwards? Like, for example,
how would nature behave? That's the thing. Because if you think about it, if you look at trees, would they grow backwards? Or, would they, go back to like saplings, or would everything turn into a prehistoric age? I was thinking about that.
Because to me, like the thought, like time moving back, how does that work? Like, does it?
Yeah, how does that work? Really?
Turn back the clock.
How does nature behave? How does people behave?
Yeah, man,
it's crazy.
Like, how would trees work? It just grows inside out.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, yeah, like not only. So think about, like, the world started out as a ancient, not ancient, like a modern civilization. But since time runs backward, it goes back towards prehistoric era.
Yeah,
man, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. It's like Stranger Things, the upside down world.
Pretty much Stranger Things. Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's like, cool. But there, because like people have been like dramatizing it. Man, NASA found a parallel universe, but this isn't the case. Like they found like certain evidence that this, like, of a theory. They didn't actually find it, but it just speculated that, man, this could be a thing, and this could be legit. I think it's something that, like, it's fun. It's just
it's controversial, and it's really interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really. Just think about, like, what would I be like if time ran backwards, like left is right and right is left. Man,
I just wonder how to get there. Maybe a portal or something. I don't know.
I think I have another one. I'm not sure how too much information. information about this, but I've been watching a lot of TED videos. They're pretty informative. I watched something about freaking cannibalism.
Oh, cannibalism! Ooh,
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I don't. It was like a certain history of cannibalism and stuff. It's like around the 1500s. People have been getting like bruises, injuries, diseases, but this was pretty big back in the time. Like they use a type of substance called mumia. I think it's called mumia. And what it is, it's mummified human flesh that has been grinded into the type of paste that you can consume or you can put onto your wounds. And that was thought to be like the cure of all cures. Like this could cure anything. You can eat it. You can just put it on your injury. Like this was thought to be
what
like
the actual
thing to solve everything. And because of that, it was going like for hundreds of years after 1500. And there have been some speculation that it's actually originated from around the 40s, like around Christopher Columbus. And I'm not exactly too sure about the facts about this, but I think what happens, like for example, Columbus when he went to one of the islands around modern day Mexico, he found like these type of tribes of people, and I think he may have made a like type of rumor that they were eating each other, like as a type of a ritual. I'm gonna have to look. I'm not exactly sure because I can't remember everything, and because of that, he took this back to Spain or whatever. It's like spraying this thing around, and because of that, the word cannibalism it derived like cannibal or something like that, and then when finally reached around Europe, the word cannibalism was formed, and it's a term that like labels people who eat other people as it'll specialize cannibalism, and because of that, going back to about Mamiya, I'm gonna have to, man, my facts have been off today. It came to the fact that people were so they wanted this type of substance so much, like mummified human flesh, like to the dressing room. They actually been taking too many ancient Egyptian mummies. It comes to the fact that people volunteered or they mummified dead corpses like in graveyards and everything just to turn them to mummies, just so they can get this type of substance. It's so weird.
What the heck?
It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, man.
But something I should probably add on is that cannibalism, although it's it's disgusting.
Right.
You're eating another human being. That ain't cool, man. But in some cases, like in the past, cannibalism can be viewed as a way of survival, right? It's like, for example, you're in a situation like a lot of your relatives are dead, you have no food, and there's no animals around you, and the only thing you have are dead corpses. And to be honest, that could be like the specific case where you kind of have to eat them unless you're gonna starve to death. It's like there's nothing else you can do unless you just want to freaking die. You gotta like sacrifice in some way, and so I think that's one thing I view as cannibalism. Something not only is like it's disgusting, but it can be viewed as a survival, but not the most efficient way of surviving.
True.
Oh yeah, something I also been watching is that how itching works in some cases, and it's strange. So you know what amputees are, right? It's like, for example, like some people that they lost their limbs, and so like one person they don't have their hand.
Oh.
Yeah, amputees, like they lost their or some part of the leg, and there have been this type of itch called, I think it's called phantom itching or ghost itching, meaning they feel an itch on a limb they don't have. What the
heck?
It's so weird. I think what's happening is that your brain is sending signals of itching to the area where the limb used to be, but there's no limb there.
Interesting.
So and there's actually a treatment to this. So what you could do is that you put your arm or your hand that hasn't been amputated like into a mirror, and you itch it in the air without actually touching it, and that actually like dissolves the itching. Like you're itching a limb you don't have, it actually fixes it. It's so weird. So you're I thought this was so strange. Like you're itching something, but it's not there, and it actually fixes it. This is an actual treatment for ghosts for phantom itching. It's my brain was just the things Ted Ed teaches you.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought it was like, yo, this is pretty cool. And then they have been they have been developing treatments for that. But I think like the mirror thing, man, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And I think what essentially does is that it tricks your brain. Like if you're itching, you're like through a mirror, like you're not touching anything. It tricks your brain thinking that your limb is still there, and it makes essentially like it sends a signal to your brain like, oh, the itching you itch already, like your arms is calm now. It's like, oh, my head hurts.
Same.
Man, it's really cool. It's fun to look these types of things up. It's somewhat of a hobby.
That's a pretty good dumb stuff on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty good dumb stuff on the internet. Rest in peace in the last episode. We lost all of it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But I think that's all we have for this episode of Quaranteens and Quarantime. So if you want to listen to us, you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, YouTube, of course on YouTube, etc., or basically any program where you can watch podcasts on. Be sure to check us out. But besides that, thanks for spending your quality quarantine with us Quaranteens. My name is Jason. That's my friend Nathan, and we are signing out. See you guys.